Getting people to visit and spend their money is an important economic goal for Oklahoma's remaining historic black towns. Rentisville has its Blues Festival, and Boley has the rodeo, and Grayson is famous for its annual Gumbo Festival. Our year-long series of reports on Oklahoma's black frontier towns takes us to Okmulgee County this month to enjoy a good time and a great meal.
Jambalaya, crawfish pie, and a filet gumbo.
Well, actually, I think this is about our 7th time, and we've been coming ever since.
What for?
The gumbo. The gumbo.
Is it good?
Well, you better bet.
I actually am savoring.
She's savoring, Mitch.
I'm eating.
The 21st annual Grayson Gumbo Festival on October 7th was a rousing success for lovers of gumbo and Sooner football.
Today, I am trying to enjoy a delicious bowl of gumbo and watch my Sooners beat the Longhorns. That's what I'm trying to do.
A win-win for Kevin and for an event many months in the making, including the hot, sticky month of July, when I had the pleasure of first meeting Mayor James Leon Anderson.
This is the secret to our world-famous gumbo right here.
Mayor Anderson knows a good gumbo starts with a good filet, and a good filet is ground from the leaves of the sassafras trees that grow throughout this small town in Okmulgee County.
This is the young one, the straight leaf here. And in its maturity as it goes.
On that sultry summer morning, the mayor took us on a tour of Grayson, population 139 in the 2020 census. We started in the museum gift shop located in the Grayson Town Hall. So these are the colors?
Yes, sir. That's our school colors of blue and gold.
Established in 1897.
Yes, sir. Hometown.
Back then, the town was known as Wildcat. It was changed to Grayson around the turn of the century.
1902, the government opened a post office here, and we have information about a gentleman by the name of Burl Grayson, who was the first postmaster.
104 years later, in 2006, Anderson was elected mayor. It's an unpaid position with plenty of duties,
That's what the mayor does.
including tidying up one of the town's tourist hotspots, the abandoned 2-room jail. This is where you don't want to go. Anderson also oversees Grayson's volunteer fire department, and he's particularly proud of his new F-350 water truck. His ongoing goal is to replace the old with the new when it comes to city services.
Whatever I was retired, so whatever I could do to make meetings and get acquainted with the state agencies or whatever the programs are out there, for assistance in the community.
That's resulted in $1.3 million in state funding for a new waste, storm, and freshwater drainage system. Anderson is also seeking funding to restore the town's public school, which closed for good in 1967. What do you want to do with this building?
We would like to refurbish this building as a historical marker for Miss Clara Luper.
That's right. Oklahoma's iconic civil rights activist lived in adjacent Hoffman and graduated high school from this facility before moving on to Langston University in the 1940s.
She was proud of the fact that she was from Hoffman, Oklahoma. And would tell people all the time, I graduated in the top 5 of my class, but there were only 5 in the class.
In 1958, at her daughter's urging, Clara Luper participated in one of the first sit-ins at the Katz Drug Store in Oklahoma City.
I made the motion that we would go down to Katz Drug Store and just sit there until they served us. I was asking her to come and go along with us as a youth council advisor.
Her mother's old school has seen better days, but it's got good bones. And Mayor Anderson says he'd like to see it restored and repurposed as a wedding venue and community center.
They're saying that it's a solid building, and so now my task is the funding.
Back in the early 30s, city funding came from another more infamous source. Oklahoman Charles Arthur Floyd, nicknamed Pretty Boy by a girlfriend, stopped in on occasion to hide from the law and share some of the ill-gotten gains from 30 successful bank robberies.
I was pretty boy fraud. Just come in here and give everybody money, eat right in our houses and everything. Eat, come in and have a handful of money, give a kid $100 bill, we'll never give him a $100 bill. That was big money for us back in those days.
Arthur Dillingham is 98 years old and the stepfather of Mayor Leon Anderson, who backs up his story of Floyd's generosity during the Depression.
The gangsters would do their thing, and they would come and hang out in the black towns because they brought money and place to eat and place to sleep, you know, and little security and whatever it is, you know, kind of a thing. So it was kind of a common thing across the state that gangsters would do those kind of things in our communities, you know.
Floyd's notorious crime spree did not last long. He was gunned down by the FBI in Ohio in 1934. His funeral back in Oklahoma was attended by 20,000 people, the largest burial service in state history.
It didn't last long. He left Grayson the day he died. See, when I get back, but he didn't get back.
You got ambushed, right?
Yeah, well, he asked for it.
He asked for it? Arthur left Grayson too, running away from home at the age of 11. He went to California, later joined the Army, and married his wife Isiola in 1948. They lived in Tacoma, Washington before returning to Grayson in 1990 to live in this lovely ranch home a stone's throw from Town Hall. Along the way, they raised 12 children.
It was a whole dozen of us.
A dozen.
You know what they say is cheaper by the dozen.
How long have you been married?
Well, we just had an anniversary last month. 75 years.
75 years.
Yes, sir.
Like his stepfather, Leon Anderson is a military veteran and Isiola's son. Together, they cooked up a unique idea for a fundraiser in 2002.
Welcome to Grayson's Gumbo Festival, the best thing you ever had.
Denise Barsh is one of those 12 children, coming all the way from Tacoma to help out her mom and dad.
Makes you appreciate it more that it's going to still be standing forever. So yes, the heritage here is amazing. And to know that my parents had something to do with it, it makes it better.
Oh, the Gumbo Festival. That's a great day. That's a good day. We started in 2002. That's when we first started the Gumbo Festival. And it was only 4 ladies of us that decided we would start. And so every year, that's what we have. And it's always the first Saturday in October.
One of those 4 women is Gladys Payne. She and Isiola are both 92 years young, and though moving a tad slower, still know their way around a gumbo pot.
It's nice, it's good. So most of the time I'd make my gumbo and bring it let them sell. And I would have a big booth down there with jellies, cakes, pies, and just sell and make my money down there.
Are those secret recipes, or you don't mind sharing?
Well, right now, I don't think I'll share. Just being a little selfish.
You know, the recipe for a good gumbo is not unlike the recipe for a great community. You have to have the right ingredients, the right people. You got to have some spice, some good personality. You can't be afraid to stir the pot a little bit. You got to let it simmer low and slow, and when it's just right, you invite everybody to come on down and have a taste. Laissez-faire le bon temps roulé. In its heyday, Grayson boasted a population of about 1,200, and about that many people or more show up for the Gumbo Festival each year, which can present a challenge.
At the end of the day, if we have one person that we have to tell that, man, we done run out, we don't have any more, well, see, that's not good on our part, you know, in that matter. But there's these ladies in this town, they be hustling to keep up, but just try to stay open, you know, selling gumbo at the end of the day.
God willing, and another solid crop of sassafras filet, they'll do it again next October.
That's our only fundraiser that we have for the town. And so we don't have the pancake breakfast anymore. But we're gonna try hard to keep the Gumbo Fest going.
A lot of the small towns, they don't have a lot of revenue. And something like this brings the community together. And, you know, people like us from out of town try to support that. You get some fellowship, you know, you learn some things, you learn some history, and I think that's the best part about it.
This is an interesting town with the old school here, and that I was telling Bill just on the way over here that Grayson is one of 50 all black towns that we have been in Oklahoma, and so it's kind of got a unique history.
Well, trust me, I lived in Louisiana for about 20 years. I've eaten lots of gumbo, and Grayson makes great gumbo.